I am Taylor Marshall, Director of Sustainable Programs for Restore the Earth Foundation. Our project, Landscape Scale Restoration and Innovation, a green-gray approach to Gulf Coast resiliency, is a critical 4,000-acre reforestation of a bald cypress forested wetland, paired with a freshwater diversion using a retrofit on existing parish stormwater infrastructure. We are excited about this project due to its overall scale, its wildlife benefits in the form of large-scale native habitat creation, and its big-picture impact to resilience enhancement due to its proximity to nearby communities, operations, infrastructure, and assets that are all in dire need of protection. Both the green restoration and gray infrastructure pieces of the project are 100% ready to go. And with our partnership with the landowners, Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, and Terrebonne Parish, all permits and approval are in place. The growers and planters of the native bald cypress trees are ready to begin as soon as funding is secured, and the landowners, Wildlife and Fisheries, have all the resources to begin preparing, managing, and monitoring the project area. The parish is ready to commence retrofitting the existing pump infrastructure immediately upon receipt of funds. All partners are aligned on the objectives, activities, and goals of this project, and there are no concerns or objections. All project partners collaborating on this project are excited and ready to see this full 4,000-acre restoration in the ground, with the additional sediment-rich fresh water to be diverted and flowing into the planting site in order to enhance and sustain the conditions. This project is truly shovel-ready.
My name is Shane Grenier. I'm the biologist supervisor for Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries here at Pointe-aux-Chenes WMA. There are a few trees here in the foreground that were planted in the last couple years. And you see the rest of the area, pretty much all the way to those tree lines way far in the background, is part of the 4,000 acres that we're looking to restore cypress habitat. The first phase of restoration of the bald cypress here at Pointe-aux-Chenes is already yielding positive results. We've seen extremely high survival rates, good growth rates on the trees, seed production, improvements to water quality and land stabilization, even bird nesting activity. We've already measured and collected baseline data at the planting sites identified at Pointe-aux-Chenes. As part of this project, LDWF will monitor tree survival rates, increases in vegetation, salinity levels, land-to-water ratios, wildlife activity. The only challenge we identified, which has been addressed in our monitoring plan, is ensuring the quality of elevation data collected, given that we don't have staff on payroll with expertise in this particular area. If the project is funded, we will hire an outside surveyor to ensure that we get good quality elevation data.
Hi, my name is Carl Lede. I'm Terrebonne Parish Government's Forest Drainage Superintendent. On a daily basis, we maintain borrow canals such as this, that we manage the water levels within a pump system to protect homes from flooding. This water comes to a pump station such as this, the Upper Montague Pump Station D3, which is collected and then pumped into by a Terrebonne. Replacing the control panels in the pump station with newer control panels, new SCADA panels, we can monitor salinity and remotely or manually operate the gate, allowing fresh water when we have fresh water and closing the gate when the salinity is too high. This water would then go down the canal to the D69 pump station from this point. This borrow canal is connected to the Upper Montague pump station. The pump on the left would be converted to a diesel over electric. This pump would activate on floats through our automated SCADA system. It would then pump the water through the levee into this marsh management. This marsh area is part of the Wildlife and Fisheries refuge and between Montague and Pointe-aux-Chenes. Introducing fresh water to this area would greatly enhance the vegetation and growth. NRCS estimates that this pump retrofit freshwater diversion will provide for 10 to 15 billion gallons per year of freshwater replenishment into the Pointe-aux-Chenes wetland complex, That's an impressive number, and we are excited to watch how this project progresses and how it supports soil accretion and wetland creation while also enhancing the freshwater bald cypress habitat planted. Terrebonne Parish Forest Drainage Division already has its baseline data for how the pump is functioning currently. NRCS and Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries have a baseline data for the current conditions in the receiving areas where the fresh water will be released. After the retrofit, the parish and the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries will be monitoring and measuring the diversion activities as part of their regular responsibilities, confirming number of gallons of freshwater discharge into the Pointe-aux-Chenes, looking at things like reduction in salinity levels, increase in submerged aquatic vegetation, and improved growth rate in the trees planted, and enhanced land building capacity. As an example of the potential of this project, if this project was in place this year, with the rain and the high water levels from the Mississippi River, we estimate an upwards of 20 billion gallons could have been diverted into Pointe-aux-Chenes wetlands this year alone.
Hi, I'm Mark Black, Coastal Restoration Director for Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. The 4,000-acre project in Pointe-aux-Chenes represents the largest remaining landmass protecting both Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes from open water. The project's location is in the most vulnerable part of our parish where land loss is the greatest, increasing the risks of storm surge and flooding of our communities. Without significant investment in this site, the resulting open water will expose nearby communities to our ever-increasing threats of severe weather, storm surge, and flooding. This project, its size, partnerships, and innovation is required and critical to protecting, strengthening, and sustaining vital coastal ecosystems and communities. Creating 4,000 acres of healthy forested wetlands with a well-maintained and functioning supportive infrastructure is ideal to support coastal and ecosystem resiliency for a very long time. This project should be providing benefits for the next 50 years. This project demonstrates a model for other communities facing similar issues and threats here in Louisiana and across coastal communities throughout the United States. The beauty of this project design is that it can be replicated and scaled. Community resiliency is talked about frequently and in many contexts, but I see this project as compelling and necessary if we're going to address resiliency in a meaningful manner. From my perspective as a public sector partner in this project with Restore the Earth Foundation, this is exactly the type of restoration project that I want to see implemented.
My name is Jonathan Fourier, and I am the Executive Director of the South Louisiana Wetlands Discovery Center. There are significant risks to our communities, businesses, and quality of life if this project isn't completed in the near future. All indications show that the sooner this project is in the ground, the better. This 4,000-acre project will be the largest reforestation in the area, and I believe, based on my knowledge as a community member born and raised here, and as a local leader, that the scale, location, and activities outlined in this project are appropriate and necessary to address storm risk, sea level rise, and the land loss issues that we're facing in coastal Louisiana. This project is a holistic way to address community resilience, not only creating and sustaining a critical buffer of land to protect us, but also by creating a valuable ecosystem with the bald cypress habitat that our communities depend on in one way or another. To put an exact number on how much time this project buys us is a challenge, and frankly, something that anyone would be hard-pressed to definitively answer. Based on the current projections, I know that models and scientists predict that in 40 to 50 years, things could get really difficult and challenging in this area. Based on recent weather events and flooding trends we're seeing across the whole country, I would say that all indications show that the sooner these types of projects are implemented, the better off we all are. This project is the most efficient, cost-effective, and time-sensitive way to provide resilience. There's the opportunity to do terracing and marsh creation projects, but all of those things are much more expensive. The conditions of this site are ideal for the reforestation and proposed freshwater diversion, and it's the best option for achieving three critical needs for resilience: big picture restoration, landscape scale land creation, and meaningful buffering capacity. It is of utmost importance that we foster a sense of stewardship within our next generation, so that the trees that we plant today will continue to be nurtured and respected for generations to come. In 40 years, the students that we work with will be in their 50s. They will have grown up with these trees, and they will have an intimate understanding of their importance to their community. Because when you talk about resiliency, it also means bringing the community together to be stronger and connected, which ultimately results from good community engagement and awareness. 4,000 acres is just a start for what we need here in Terrebonne Parish. So if you're asking me for a recommendation of how we expand this project, I say give us another 4,000 acres.